Dads in Christ. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 6-9. Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him. Psalm chapter 103 verse 13. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Psalm chapter 127 verses 3-5. A song of degrees. Blessed is every one that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands, happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. Psalm chapter 128 verses 1-4. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 22. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. Proverbs chapter 13 verse 24. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. Proverbs chapter 15 verse 20. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 6. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare for his crying. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 18. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 13. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 24. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest, yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 17. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Malachi chapter 4 verse 6. And he said, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falleth to me. And he divided unto them his living. And not many days after the younger son gathered all together, and took his journey into a far country, and there wasted his substance with riotous living. And when he had spent all, there arose a mighty famine in that land, and he began to be in want. And he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into his fields to feed swine. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husks that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. And when he came to himself, he said, How many hired servants of my father's have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven, and before thee, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and had compassion, and ran, and fell on his neck, and kissed him. And the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven, and in thy sight, and am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe, and put it on him, and put a ring on his hand, and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf, and kill it, and let us eat, and be merry. For this my son was dead, and is alive again, he was lost, and is found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. And he called one of the servants, and asked what these things meant. And he said unto him, Thy brother is come, and thy father hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry, and would not go in. Therefore came his father out, and entreated him. And he answering said to his father, Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never gavest me a kid, that I might make merry with my friends. But as soon as this thy son was come, which hath devoured thy living with harlots, thou hast killed for him the fatted calf. And he said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all that I have is thine. It was meet that we should make merry, and be glad, for this thy brother was dead, and is alive again, and was lost, and is found. Luke chapter 15 verses 11 to 32. Behold, the third time I am ready to come to you, and I will not be burdensome to you. For I seek not yours, but you. For the children ought not to lay up for the parents, but the parents for the children. 2 Corinthians chapter 12 verse 14. And, ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 4. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. Colossians chapter 3 verse 21. But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 8.